Hello everyone, it's time for the first Hauptstück tutorial of 2024, and that will be about Hände Drucken, or pressing the hands. This is a Hauptstück that is primarily there to show us the different ways of continuing from the simple Schnitt that we covered last time. The biggest lesson there was that trying any sort of stop hit or winding requires you to get pretty close to your opponent, and the Schnitt or slice is the absolute best example of this. So this time we will be looking at what to do from there. The canonical way of doing this, at least in longsword, is to press the hands by turning the slice from below into a slice from above. This is a nice example of a technique where Messer gets a bit different on account of having only one hand on the grip. So in Hans Leckerson's fight book, this more traditional way of Hände Drucken is different and I'm not overly fond of it. It's just a bit situational. Thankfully he also includes counters and, more exciting, continuations into a thrust. So what you learn here is to pretty much turn any of the 4 slices into a thrust. Feel free to skip back to the previous video to get a sense of how to do them. As we already noted back then, the slices are just ways of stopping your opponent in their tracks, but not really anything to stop a fight. Although you can imagine all sorts of ways to continue from a slice in non-lethal ways, in most modern fencing contexts, thrusts are excellent fight stoppers. They usually end an exchange and they get you lots of points for your efforts. As a bonus, I also feel the combination looks really smooth. But how to do it? The first and most important thing is to realize that the slices are, on a tactical level at least, just windings, but instead of the blade you're controlling your opponent's wrist. So the slices from above correspond to the lower hangings as they close off your lower openings on both sides, while the slices from below do the same for your upper openings, meaning they're like the upper hangings. The second thing we should realize is that when someone gets sliced across the wrist with the strong, especially when your Messer is not actively cutting into it, they're going to try and push in the opposite direction. Now this should be familiar to you. So your partner will then be pushing upwards against the slice from above and downwards against the slice from below. Because of how the human body works, this means that when you have the non-dominant side, in my case the left side of your body in front, slicing towards your dominant right side, you can quite easily work against that opposing force, because you have the advantage of leverage and a really strong structure to support you. Your structure will be much weaker when you slice towards your non-dominant side though. So if I want to slice towards my left, I'm already a bit weaker to begin with. If your opponent now puts force against your slice, they will press through. But what have we learned again about hard binds? Yeah, you can go around. So from both slices you can pretty much just do an outward winding, just like the first piece of the Zornhauer, or go into long point and hit with a thrust. If someone then keeps pushing, well, the Zornhauer pieces also tell you what to do. For today I would suggest bringing the Hände Drucken into your repertoire by incorporating them into a choice drill. You want to build that mental connection between these mechanical techniques and the principles of winding that you have been working with before, so that you can do them as a partially foreseen action. So you perform a foreseen action like cutting into a mine, and then if your partner moves forward with hands high for instance, the winding you intended to do instantly turns into a slice from below. Eliminating the need for decision making is what makes this work, and that's why you want to do choice drills to help you build the neural pathways connecting these techniques to general windings, so that you don't have to make the decision to do them in that moment when you have better things to do like fencing. So first, your choice drills should just be limited to the 4 slices, but later on you could add other inputs from your coach that will require another solution. Anyway, as always, do lots of free play afterwards to go from there. Enjoy, have fun, rinse and repeat, and I'll see you all for the next one.